Welcome everybody to my presentation today on vibrational medicine. It's here, a new paradigm shift. I'm going to be belting out today the new paradigm, what it's about, and where we're going, and demystifying health, well-being, quantum physics, holism, existential fields, and things like that. So welcome everybody. It's an honor to have all of you here today from around the world, all eager to hear. I'm going to be presenting the brand new NQB, Nelson Quantum Biofeedback Device, and showing you how it fits into my HIELO framework, and what the HIELO framework entails, and ending off with this new launch. There are some Black Friday specials, holiday specials regarding the new device too. So I'm very pleased to announce all of this to you. If we just go ahead, let me start the presentation. I would like you to bring your questions to me, put them in the chat, and to define any terms that I use that you might find new or want explained. So the future of vibrational medicine has arrived, and introducing the new biofeedback device. And I've put in there that regarding whatever I do, regarding my nutrients, my thoughts, my advice, recommendations, it's all about quantum physics, the quantum field, the morphogenic field, the holistic field, the God field. And it's about light, it's about water, it's about oxygen, and it's about energy, it's about life force. And many of you who've listened to my webinars before know about this. I do refer you to my YouTube channel, Dr. Jane Mackenzie, where I've got well over 300 educational videos, and I've talked about this. I've been talking about a paradigm shift, I think, since about 2011, when I kind of started off my holistic practice. And the new paradigm has shifted and shifted and shifted. And it's very delightful to be at this point in time, because in the beginning, you were kind of telling people how to spell plant-based, and what nutrients really were, and what processed food really was. And it was really chipping at the block. But, fast forward today, 15 years later or so, I have got same clients coming in, speaking to me about what I told them 15 years ago, as if they knew it all the time. So that's really wonderful. And that's just beautiful. And so it's a wonderful position to be in now. And all of us to have created the space for us to evolve and understand our evolvement, understand why we're here, and to have these beautiful instruments to assist us, and this beautiful insight, holistic insight into the paradigm, which is beyond reductionism. It's beyond the biomedical model. It's really inclusive again, going back to prior to 1910, prior to the Flexner report, where, there were lots of natural modalities included: shiatsu, qigong, yoga, meditation. And those are all critical. And you can measure the effect of these things if you have a look on my devices, if you have a look at the live blood analysis, if you look at client feedback, visually, what they look like, what they say, you can actually see improvements. So it's measured and you can see it as well, and researched. So that concludes evidence-based medicine. Behavioral medicine would be one step further, where we're looking at the behavior that I've just said, of the body, the mind, the emotions, and the spirit. So let's blast off into this, and let me see where I can, close gaps for you. So this new paradigm that we're entering into is looking at holism versus reductionism, inclusion as opposed to exclusion. And I include all, because there's a space for all. But one might not do everything. So we have to work with the field, because in the quantum field, the morphogenic field, it's the field of wisdom, the field of knowledge. Medicine of frequency, electroceuticals, sound, sono, opto, visual, medicine of light, just spoken about that, medicine of consciousness, that's in the morphogenic field, medicine of information, and I'd like to say moving to wisdom. So I'm Jane Mackenzie here, presenting my HIELO framework, which comes out of the research I did in my doctorate. And the framework is a holistic, integrated, epigenetic life orientation. And you're welcome to go onto my YouTube channel and read and hear lots about this and a bit more today. The 365 healthy by choice nutrients, light-emitting nutrients, micronutrients, I'll share a bit with you on that as well. And the new Nelson Quantum Biofeedback device. And this process that I've just told you about of mine sits precisely at this intersection of the new paradigm. And just by way of introduction today, I just wanted to get us where we are. And then what I'm thinking of is then moving more to demonstration purposes of what my HIELO process is, what the emotional releases are, what a live blood analysis is, etc., and what the Nelson Quantum device is capable of doing. It really is mind-blowing. So you would always need to do, insofar as my HIELO process is concerned, high and low would be balance. We want to bring balance. That's holism. Reductionism is happy and sad, good and bad, poles apart. That's reductionism, that's duality, that's this kind of 3D world we live in. But existential world has got the holism, where happy and sad are together, creating a bit of resistance, which is indicating we need to shift. Always do benchmarking. I've got two devices, the Q450 and the NBQ device, and live blood analysis. That gives me a really holistic view, because the benchmarking with the Q450 is assessment. With the NBQ, it's assessment and realignment, but you're looking at 14,000 frequencies there, imagine. And it's working in real time, in virtual time. So, I mean, that just speaks for itself. There's no other device like it. It's kind of like coming back from 100 years to the future now. So more than that coming up. Live blood analysis never lies. You can actually see what the devices are telling you. And then in terms of realignment, apart from the devices, I also use acupuncture. It's non-verbal, non-local, and that is working with scalar waves, and that is in the quantum field, the morphogenic field, and working on rearranging neurological pathways and emotions, good for addictions. And we use oxygen drips, very interesting miracles. We could carry people in and they walk out after 3 hours. Pain and inflammation disappears by 5 hours. So really remarkable, really miraculous. That's here at the clinic at the 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston. And then we do, obviously, a holistic ancestral orientation, which is emotional release, because behind any bodily, physical disorder, dis-ease is an emotion. And that's 99% of the time. It's generally generational and patterns repeat. So I always say to clients, you can take the emotions into the grave, or you can actually deal with them. Be responsible, sit up and say, hey, this is mine, I set it up. And once we understand that, there's no more blame. You live with ease, you live with peace, and you just see yourself moving with the flow. And this is where, when we move with this realignment, you observe people looking younger, not aging. You observe yourself, higher levels of clarity of thought, living more productively, living more peacefully in the flow. So that's really what the realignment is about. And it's all measured, because we've benchmarked in the beginning and we remeasure and we remeasure. So people will come in with all sorts of disorders, diseases. And we set about realigning that, getting that body back into harmony and happiness from an existential point of view, homeostasis from an experiential point of view. And the Healthy by Choice products, and these are photon multipliers. What do I mean by that? So the strongest nutrient are the photons from the sun, from light. The highest frequency, form of food. And how many of us sit in the sun? I did an experiment with one of my clients. She was really sick. And I said to her, what I want you to do is this. And I'm going to read to you what she said. I said to her, please go and sit in the sun for 5 hours today, in the shade, in the sun, not obviously overdoing it in midday. And I said, I want your feet on the ground because that's another form of energy. So sunlight is photons are the highest form of energy. Electrons from the earth are a high form of energy. Oxygen, nutrients from oxygen are a high form of energy. None of this requires digestion, by the way. And then we bring in the micronutrients, the light-emitting, post-photosynthesis nutrients. This is where we need to be. And the rest of it is living for free, really. But if we get this right, we've shifted in our paradigm thought. The grossest form of energy is food. And there's levels of grossness there because processed food, fried food, refined foods are the worst and grossest. That will deplete your energy. It'll deplete your battery. So when we're talking about light and photon multipliers and quantum state, we're talking about charging our battery. We are a human battery. We have a body electric. And if I take you back to science where you had the electrodes in the beaker and the fluid in the beaker and the light globe was over there and we had to put the light globe on, what did we need to put into the water? We needed nutrients. We needed minerals. So when we charge that battery, our electrodes, we're then able to emit light. We emit light anyway, but the degree of light emission. So we want to build our neg entropy all the time, which is our life force, our currency, as opposed to entropy, which is a downward cycle. So people will come to me with 4% kidney function, 12% kidney function, 22% kidney function, 50% kidney function, and so on. And I will meet them where they are. And with these processes, remember that I don't do the healing. The practitioner doesn't do the healing. That's not possible. That's ego. We will guide and assist and educate. The client will take responsibility. The outcome is the client's responsibility. So when they say to you, what is your percentage cure or realignment in a certain disease area, it's totally related to the ultimate decision the client makes. That I can't do. I can't step into those shoes. You see? I can't, pull the rope for you. That's your decision. So the outcome is up to you. You can choose 0 to 100%. And that's very, very important. So here's what the lady said who got in the sun. It was great being in the sun and grounding on my lawn. My sense of smell and taste is mostly restored. That's not even 24 hours. Nasal congestion has eased significantly. Coughing and scratching throat getting better. So that's something you could do is switch your Wi-Fi off for 24 hours, get in the sun for that 5 hours, put your feet on the ground, grounding, hydrate yourself, breathe, be in the nature because nature will also feed you negative electrons, negative ions like the earth, reducing the positivity in the atmosphere where we live. And just being within yourself, quietly. The answers are inside, they're not outside. And that's the new paradigm. I think we're so used to that doctor, that specialist, that diet, that nutrient, that bottle. It's just purely reductionist. It's old paradigm. And if you want to stay there, that's fine with me too. I'm giving you an option. When I studied pharmacy, I could have stayed with that paradigm, or I could have moved. I had enough discord in me to ask for a better way, a natural way. I didn't like that alternative allopathic paradigm. And I'm using those words advisedly. I like the natural space, going back to how it always was. So the nutrients I put together, my signature range, are plant-based, food state, nutrient-dense, and quantum state, meaning they emit light. And I've looked at it. I've looked under the microscope. I've seen spirulina under the microscope, ormus under the microscope, microbiome reset under the microscope, flaxseed under the microscope. It's gazillions of lights. And that is proof that photosynthesis occurred and there's a light-emitting effect. Fantastic. Because we are light-emitting beings. We're batteries that do this. So therefore, if you're feeding yourself more light-emitting factors, you're just raising your currency. You're raising your neg entropy. And it's infinite. And as you do that, you detox. Emotionally and physically. Imagine. And your consciousness deepens and you awaken. And the consciousness deepens and you awaken. And when we shed those emotional blocks, those rocks on our rucksack that we elected to choose at birth, in order to shift us, in order to create a resistance, it's so much easier. It's more peaceful. Life becomes bliss. It becomes different. You view it differently. You don't see challenges and mistakes. You see opportunities. Lots more on my YouTube on this, on my website, and lots more when you come. So I'm putting into perspective high-level differences here. Here is the holistic ancestral orientation, my A5 flyer, basically. It's basically saying, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you living the life you came to live? Ask yourself that, because it's running out day by day. And when we do eventually go, because that's part of it, you're going to, am I going to tick the blocks? Am I going to say life well lived? Because it's not for anyone else to tell you. It's your own internal barometer of happiness, harmony. And here we uncover past deep emotional traumas. Huge. Reducing anxiety, anger, grief, sadness, hatred, jealousy, resentment, etc. Reducing the dis-ease and maximizing your potential. We build the life force. You observe and feel the inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is our inner pharmacy. The shift, the increase in circulation, the increase in the chi, the prana, the life force, the circulation. You know it. Because when people start, there's stiffness, there's heaviness, there's the bodies look skew, etc. By the end of the house session, which is only half an hour actually, there's straightness. I've taken photographs of people. So I can see it, they can see it, they know there's been a shift. This is the root cause beyond the physical root cause. I wrote there, gets to the root problem beyond the physical. Restoring health, well-being, and happiness in the quantum state, holistic, physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. And people do say to me in many different words, but I never looked at life this way. I feel free and peaceful. And you know you did, they know they did, they self-transformed. So that's evidence. So we've come down this whole way. We're in the quantum field. This work is done in the quantum field in broad daylight. And your body's speaking to us. It's indicating in the quantum field it's definitive, because we're not using the brain, we're using the heart and the gut. So these are all definitive, directly felt shifts. Now we come to something really interesting. The Nelson Quantum Biofeedback Device. Going beyond belief. And this is where we're talking about something futuristic. We're talking about 100 years into the future, bringing it back now. There's nothing to touch this in existence. And I'm going to give you some info. And then what I said earlier is I suggest we can then set up another webinar where we demonstrate the working of the device. So maybe we should just define biofeedback versus bioresonance. So biofeedback teaches the body to regulate itself using real-time physiological data. So that would be hooking up to a machine that reads you and spits out data based on pre-existing data fields, groups and populations. Whereas bioresonance is working in the quantum field in real time, pulling in information from the quantum field onto the software. The NQB, the Nelson Quantum Biofeedback Device, merges both of these and extends into quantum field diagnostics. So it's doing everything I told you about already, but more. We're talking about 14,000 frequencies here. So now knowing the difference between biofeedback and bioresonance, bioresonance is holistic. We're talking about the most advanced electroacupuncture system ever, a complete vibrational medicine beyond belief. And I'm going to talk about this because this is the understanding from the professor. And you can see these little cells here. Some are happy, some are not happy. But basically, we're talking about charging the human battery. And there we need nutrients, there we need water, there we need oxygen, as I said in the beginning. So the 365 nutrients on a physical plane, but they are in the quantum field. Water, the water needs to be charged. We need light for that. And there's the oxygen. And the cell will release water. It will release, waste, water, and carbon dioxide. So we feeding the nutrients to the cell, and the cell is excreting waste. And this has all got to do with the body's voltage, the charge of the battery, and the membrane potential, which is fatty acid based. And you all know my passion for flaxseed oil, bringing in massive amounts of fatty acids. It's the highest life force oil, creates this electrical potential so that food and nutrients can cross and waste can come out. And we need the minerals for this. Minerals, salts, oxygen. The oxygen must bind with the electrons to produce ATP, and you need proteins for that. Building block proteins, like in my replica RNA DNA, the 5 building block proteins, uracil, guanine, adenine, thymine, cytosine, builds the genetic code, and it builds the proteins for growth development, neurotransmitters, proteins, enzymes. So when we start bringing in an electrical field and we start balancing this dynamic, we start seeing results, because we need a battery that's charged, a charged battery. So these clients that come in with 4% kidney charge, 12, 22, 50%, we've got to charge this battery first of all. This client went and charged her battery. That's all she did. And look at the result. Imagine, this was after yesterday, so after 2 days, imagine. So actually, health and healing are at our fingertips. We've just got to discard the old paradigm. The misrepresented paradigm, if you like, where we've got to go and buy a bottle, where we've got to go and see someone. And this is how we get this charge happening. The NBQ is the only cybernetic loop technology measuring and then auto-focusing the treatment and balancing, thus correcting deficiencies or excesses. So it reads the body, it measures the frequencies directly from the quantum software on the laptop and sends it back to the programs on the panels on the laptop and sends bioresonance, realignment, quantum frequencies back. So when let's say, for example, me directly, lower back, sitting not straight all the time, sitting too much sometimes, lower back strain. When they ran the new NQB on me, I could directly feel those frequencies. The new devices are running at 25 megahertz. It's one of the frequencies of the earth. Just think of that. That's dynamic. So it's actually palpable. You actually do feel it. So this is a cybernetic loop that's happening in virtual real time. It means it's shifting. In other words, I'm not programming the device like a rife machine or something. It's doing it automatically in sync with you, your subconscious, your superconscious. Imagine. And it's real. It's happening. It's infinite. So if we understand that we're a battery, if we understand the dynamics of the cell from a physiological, chemical, mineral point of view, we know how to charge the body, we know how to get well. And this device is helping the body. Now imagine the client with 4% battery charge. Yes, they can go and sit in the sun, but it's going to take a lot of days sitting in the sun. And we haven't got time to play with because 4% is close. It's dialysis every 3 days, etc., when they come in. So I'm going to use this device in my practice to enhance the healing capacity of that client gently. So these frequencies are gentle, they're subtle. It's like almost gold, it's subtle. It's just working with your fields. There might be many of them, we don't even know yet. So this is how it's working. It's working with the precision of acupuncture needles, which is thousands of years old, to bring about order. And I don't know, but this device has really, really helped me. Those practitioners out there heal. It reads the client and tells you what to do. It reads the client, tells you what to do. You can also do what you need to do as well with your own wisdom, with your own intuition. But people get up and walk. So imagine this with the oxygen drip, with the 365 nutrients, with the holistic ancestral orientation, healing emotional wounds. You know, we've got quite a good system here. We've got a great, box of, and that's where we're getting the results. And, when you're working in this field and you're working with intuition, wisdom from the field, you're going to get your answers. You're going to get your dosages. You're going to get everything. So the NQB is the most advanced, scientifically verified and validated device, and spiritually aligned, holistically aligned quantum system in existence. In existence, flat out, hands down. There's nothing to touch this, and bring it to me if you know there is one, and I'll show you that there isn't. The verification and the validation is with the FDA. So you can work positively with this device, knowing that you've got verified and validated registration. It's been validated and verified for the last 30 years or so. Right, so when we're launching this device, we're dealing with a future of energetic healing powered by 14,000 tri-vector body electric signal measurements recorded in 3 to 4 minutes. So each frequency is a tri-vector, which is holistic. So if you took spirulina straight physical, and then imagine you bring in the neurological frequencies that spirulina can enhance, the emotional frequencies and the spiritual frequencies of spirulina. That's what you're going to get. That's what a trivector means. And knowing that, I'm using the example of spirulina, but it was the first nutrient to be solidified out of the atmosphere, the nitrogen of the atmosphere. So these nutrients come in the quantum state if they're grown properly. There's a certificate of analysis. They haven't been distorted and tinctured and patented and frozen and etc. If you start doing that, you lose the DNA of the plant, you lose the intelligence of the plant, and the body has to renature it to get it back into the quantum field. That's why I'm against all of that. Take it as nature presented it to us. Full of intelligence, full of the DNA. When the body receives it, the body's innate ability to heal kicks in, and you get the miracles. So these frequencies are body frequencies. The body knows. You don't get side effects from quantum healing because it's all balanced. And I can use this with the really ill people. because it's not going to weaken them. It's going to work exactly with their frequencies. And we're coming in then with the other subtle quantum-based micronutrients that we use and the emotional releasing. So this is incredibly important. In 3 to 4 minutes, you get 14,000 trivector readings. It's mind-blowing. So what is it actually doing? It connects to your quantum information field, within the wisdom of the collective. It reads the subconscious and superconscious patterns, detecting blockages and incoherences, sending corrective scalar harmonics to realigning physically, emotionally, and mental fields, restoring a coherent biofield, and this is quantum resonance medicine. Anything you want to explain, please do write it in the chat. All right, it's going to use a scalar wave technology, which is different to linear. So a linear wave would be when you throw a stone into a pond and the ripples eventually stop. Scalar wave is the next one, a torsion field, vortex. So what we're doing here is we're spinning the vortex. Same as what I told you, let's say flaxseed oil, which has got the highest life force because the electrons is close to the neutron and the proton, very close, very active, high spin. So what we are doing here is strengthening your torsion field, removing the incoherences, refining the vortex, the torsion field. Using biophotonic signaling, light signaling, emotional frequency detection. So with the NQB, you can pick up abandonment, rejection. I will know it from the holistic ancestral work that I do. And I worked in tandem with another professional, and I'll see abandonment, and the professional will ask the client, what about abandonment, or vice versa, rejection. Identity conflict, those kind of things, emotions, grief, anger, sadness. So it detects the emotions, also the neurological, electrical detection, the mind, and then very importantly, sonar, optical, electroceuticals. This you can buy and additionally, but there's a nice POSE program, which POSE, which the clients can watch and hear, so visible and auditory, while they're being healed. So it's additional, new. This gives us a complete picture of your whole system of health and the healing. Okay, so how would you know you're out of balance? Let's look at that. Fatigue, pain, inflammation, swelling, just don't feel right. The doctor says you're fine, but you know you're not. Emotional overwhelming, digestive issues, constant repeating life patterns, making the same or setting up the same disorder, marrying the same kind of person, displaying the same kind of behavior in your business. So I think it was Einstein said you can't fix something by repeating what you did the time before. You have to change the way you operate in order to heal or fix or change. So that kind of thing. Repeating life patterns is just not learning from past disorders. Lack of clarity in your life. Where am I going? Just plain stuck. Anxiety, hormonal issues, stress issues, not feeling like yourself. So those are signs of imbalance. So in terms of diagnosis, we don't need a diagnosis here. We need to realign the homeostasis, the harmony, the happiness, because everybody's discord or dis-ease is going to manifest in a different physical orientation. And it's just an out of alignment. So we are torsion field, the heart's a torsion field, the cells are torsion fields, the DNA is a torsion field. So there's all these torsion fields where we need to bring in scalar wave coherence. So when you're having this NQB session, what does it feel like? You do feel calm because you'll have, I'm going to show you now. Let me just open up here. So this is my device. This is my quantum Nelson quantum biofeedback device. And it's got connections at the back where you connect everything. And then very specifically, it's got clasps, and these go around your wrists and your ankles, and they are feeding you Sherman's resonance, earth frequency. So it's grounding, it's very calming. Plus you're getting the oxygen frequencies, the charged water, and the nutrients coming in to create energy. So you've got some clasps. Then you've also got a harness, all right, which goes around the head. And that's working with the brain. And then, very importantly, this new one has got an acupuncture probe. So this is new. And this you connect to the back of the device as well. And you can then, if you're doing the beauty programs, you can actually use it, or if it's pain or inflammation, any kind of disorder, you can use it. So really, really exciting. You know, it's just the Apple 17, put it that way, of everything in existence. Let's just go back here. Mental clarity, emotional lightness, warm tingling sensations. You will feel that. It's running at 25 megahertz. You'll start having insights, being intuitive. The conversation, you know, with me, with the practitioners, becomes, you know, on a different level as people start waking up to certain things. So there's an awakeness, a deepening into consciousness, and a strong sense of alignment. And you'll know it's worked because you sleep better, the pain is reduced, think clearer, emotional release happens. So there are the programs on the quantum to do that. It even goes back past gestation. So it will pick up those emotional patterns that I talked to you about with the holistic ancestral orientation that I do, but it'll actually give it to you. 1745, were you male or you female? What was the conflict about? It goes right there. Can you imagine? So it's dipping straight into your subconscious, superconscious, into the Akashic records and bringing the information back. That's why I said to you, this is beyond its time. There's nothing close to this. And it's also realigning you in real time. It's amazing. And to think that, you know, all of this can happen in an hour. So again, quantum field interaction, whole system coherence, subconscious communication, getting the body speaking to itself, raising that battery, non-local scanning, that's quantum field with the non-verbal, multi-level frequency correction. I think we don't even know how far this device reaches. It's in the quantum field of wisdom. This is the natural evolution of holistic medicine. And I've just put this research in here so that you know that, you know, the body communicates through electromagnetic and photonic fields. This is the foundation of the NQB. So this is aside from Professor Desiree Dubonnet, who's the inventor, the brain behind all of this. Other people have proved it too. I just wanted to say that. The quantum biology research from these researchers demonstrates coherence, entanglement, and information fields shape biological function. Exactly what the NQB interfaces with. The heart math and neurophysiological research show emotional frequencies directly alter physiology. NBQ detects these patterns and corrects them. The morphogenic field from Rupert Sheldrake aligns with the NQB's ability to detect some subconscious and superconscious programs. Exactly what I've just said. So this is all backed by research and more. The biophoton research by POP proves that the body emits and reacts to light frequencies, validating the NQB sono-opto-electroceutical applications. So everything here is covered with research and more. That's just some of it. So you might be saying to yourself, I would love a few of these NQB readings, assessments, realignments. You get an instant reading of the the voltage of the body, the brain amplitude, the resistance to flow, the hydration in the cell, the oxygen in the cell, and the pH. So you're getting even the acidity, alkalinity levels within 3 to 4 minutes. Imagine. Those are stats that are needed in ICUs, so people know what to do. So from me, I offer a holistic quantum well-being practitioner training, and the dates for next year will be coming out. From the Nelson Biofeedback Quantum Device, you can purchase that, and there's a special. I'm coming to that in a moment. You would then do your training with the Immune University. That training is around about $700 US. It says a diploma. I've done that. I've also done the QESP, which is the bioresonance course. So I've done the biofeedback and the bioresonance course. I have the medical board certified biofeedback diploma, and I also have a license to practice as an NBQ practitioner. So this is where you need to get to. In order to do the diploma, you will need to choose a mentor. I am a certified mentor, and that would be really just to bounce information off. Have I understood this correctly, Jane? Please expand on quantum thermodynamics, for example, or expand on the role of minerals, explain this aspect of anatomy. I would say Professor Deja Dubonnet has rewritten homeopathy. She's rewritten anatomy. She's brought it into the new paradigm. So it's a really enjoyable course. Sonar Opto included in that course. And it's online. You do it in your own time. And there's exams to pass. So then once you've done all that and passed, then you get your license. And this is extremely important because the practitioners need to know what they're talking about. So I would integrate this with my training. And then I offer support groups, case study mentorship, and business setup guidelines. Very important. So we want to, balance the business and the wellness and the wealth. You could put it that way. The abundance. So you can become a pioneer in quantum medicine. My courses are practical. Many people come to me who have done quantum courses, 2, 3, 4-year quantum courses. They have the certificate. They don't know where to start. They don't even know really. I'm telling you what the quantum field is all about. So I'm happy to bring all of that together for people in a practical way where we can help more and more and more people come into this paradigm, get well, live that life that they came to live. Think clearly, live productively in all areas of their lives. So this is just a slide of summary of the major aspects of the NQB. Complete vibrational medicine. The 6 electrical properties, I said to you, the voltage, the amperage, the resistance, hydration, oxygenation, acidity. Once you've got those stats, you can start operating as a practitioner. And it's backed up with 2 terabytes of electroceutical therapies. It's got the active prayer wheel, linking divine consciousness with quantum intelligence. That's amazing. Dual signal harmonic therapies, realigning the body to its natural blueprint. We need the dual signal harmonics because that's yin and yang. That's balance. And it will measure the healing response versus the resistance and keep feeding back to the practitioner how far you've rectified. Once it's on 100, you move on. So this is what we bring to you. The most advanced electroacupuncture system to date and for a long time. And this is the flyer that we use, which really summarizes it. You can expand on this in your own time. And then here's actually now the Black Friday and holiday saving. So if you look in the black writing there, the new device, the NQB, cost $25,000 US. There's a $5,000 saving. It's now $20,000. So in your own currency, you can calculate that. So it's going to be dependent on exchange rate at the time. And if you go onto the 365 Healthy by Choice website and you choose quantum devices, you will see new there, the new NQB. You click on that, you read it through. There's an option to buy. There's an option to learn more. So click on the learn more and you're going to get basically what I've spoken about today. And I think tomorrow I'll upload this onto that landing page as well. But what the professor has bringing to all of us is an IPO deal. And this is an opportunity, and there are only 50 shares. So you buy a device now for no extra money. You will, if you're one of the first 50, you will automatically be loaded onto the share portfolio, the share certificate, and be a founding shareholder as such. So it's a private shareholder company, the NQB Nelson Quantum Biofeedback, which Professor Desiree Dubonnet is setting up in New Mexico, unveiling the new product, the NQB, Zeroed Biofeedback. And that includes Professor Desiree Dubonnet and Vicky Dubonnet. And they're on the IP technology and the Class 2 FDA registration. That's got to do with the harness, the Class 2. The value of the shares, the share of the stock is going to be $2 a share to start with. And all the new functions I've just explained to you. The NQB next year from 2026 is going to be $25,000. So take advantage of this right now. I would. And get yourself organized. Get yourself the most advanced device available. So that's available from now, Black Friday and through to the holidays until the end of the year. So take advantage of the initial product offering. Many big companies have done this, and be part of an emerging new company. The device is sold at the discount, and you get your share. So amazing, and those shares will have a value of $2,000, just to tell you, and only for 50 buyers. Together with buying the new one, you're going to get 5 free sessions of device training, and there's a manual. And you can just watch your investment grow. So there's an example of your certificate. And I urge you to contact me about that. When you press learn more on my website, it will take you to, when you want to buy, it will take you to my email. And you can then put your name in there and I'll get back to you directly. And we can organize payment and shipment. So that's the deal. Fantastic. And this is all, I'm just repeating where you can get hold of me. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And any questions you have, let me know, please. I'm just seeing who's sitting here. It really is revolutionary. I want to say to you that I've used this device for at least 12 years now. I own 3 of them, the 2 earlier ones and this latest one. I wouldn't part with them. And I want to also say to people, practitioners who own devices, previous models, that there's a corrective action software, that all you need to do is purchase that. You can speak to me about that as well. Load it on your device. Your device will probably be running at about 1 megahertz. That's okay too. And that's what I did in the beginning before the device was available. I also bought the larger prayer wheel, and I'll be sending out information on prices and things, but you can load this onto your current device and you're in business, because you need the prayer wheel. You need the active prayer wheel to work in the quantum field. So it's moving in the virtual field, moving beyond. So that's perfect. You've got that availability. So that's called CAS, Corrective Action Software, available. So do let me know. Do come back to me, and together we can really transform this paradigm into a reality, into a norm. And always good to be at the uplift of a new paradigm, because you're breaking the ground. Referring back to my YouTube channel, the videos that are accepted have got some of my testimonials. Others aren't always screened, but allowed. But you'll get the gist of it. As a practitioner, as a qualified pharmacist with my doctorate, to have these kind of tools available, and to see the magnificence of somebody who walks in after a month. Sometimes I don't recognize them, especially the pain and arthritic people that come in and can hardly, and they come in like this, and I look from far and they're like, who's that? So when you see somebody shifting into their magnificence, that's heartwarming for me. And that's progress. That's, experience of a non-verbal, non-linear field, the field of wisdom, the Akashic records, the morphogenic field. We're at work. And the universe works quickly once you give it the go-ahead. It's spontaneous. The client with a 12% kidney function. The minute we got her body charged, the water charged, she was able to use the oxygen and the proteins and make ATP, and started healing. Remember, kidneys are an organ of fear. So, of course, we did the work with the NQB, but also my holistic ancestral work, defining the fear aspects. And we use EMDR. So there's lots of tools that we've got to use. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I've loved being here. I hope you've loved listening, awakening, deepening into your own consciousness, having that internal dialogue, not here, but inside your heart. And, that you're going to be walking differently with more information at your disposal. So more to come. I'm going to be posting a lot. Look out for it. And those of you who want to book your quantum machine, please do. My special Black Friday for today is there's going to be a lucky draw for everybody who registered. We'll go into the lucky draw, and I'm offering 2 free NQB sessions. So I look forward to sharing that information with you too. And I see there's lots of people registered here. So I'm going to have fun choosing 2 names. Thank you very much. And direct message me with your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.